Welcome, everyone. It's time for us to dive into another classic. No pun intended.
Boo.
Hey, I said no pun intended. You're not allowed to boo me.
I don't care. Boo.
Okay, fine. It's time for us to dive, swim in everything. There's your pun that you can boo at.
Boo, boo.
For The Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
A nice little musical of a classic.
Musical that I was only all that keen on the first half on.
Yeah, we'll see why.
I'm only keen on the music, the score, the songs, the score, and the villain. Aside from that,
And the animation?
The animation too, yeah.
Alright, audience. So basically, starting with this film, we're beginning the practice of starting our commentaries after the Disney logo because, well, you know this movie's going to get re-released into infinity and beyond, so of course, the logos are probably going to change. So to save you the trouble of having to get a specific cut, we're going to start right after the Disney logo and right as soon as the movie starts. So pause your whatever recording there and press play whenever we say click. Is everyone ready now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right then. 3, 2, 1, click.
This is our second time attempting this.
This time nothing should go wrong though, as long as no one else has anything planned.
Look at the bright side, Whips. This copy's actually in sync.
Hooray!
Yes, that's right, audience. The first time we tried using a copy that was a bit out of sync. Yes. It was very awkward when we were all grouped around in the living
too
room.
Too loud. Okay.
Ah.
Sorry, I put mine on too loud.
Well, yeah, that's one thing I like about this movie player. Quite a range of volume.
So, wow, Pirates of the Caribbean came early.
Yep.
Yo ho,
a pirate's life for me.
This was after Peter Pan.
By the way, the opening song of Pocahontas is a total rehash of this song.
What about the opening song from Frozen?
Not really. I'm talking about the opening song of Frozen was more about icy cold and shit, whereas both Pocahontas and this song were, sailors singing. Like, even the singing sounds similar to Pocahontas.
So
we open up to
and Eric. Not to mention, Shiroy, Eric is just as bland as John Smith.
You don't like Eric, do you?
What, you mean John Smith?
I was talking about Eric.
I don't. The only character I like in Pocahontas is the villain. He's so over the top. He's so clearly and admittingly and honest about how evil he is, and so over the top silly that it's just awesome.
Old Disney Pictures.
I was talking about Eric, but
That
whatever.
film is so racist.
Oh, Eric is about Eric. Wait a minute. You're telling me that Eric has a character? This is news to me.
Well, maybe Kingdom Hearts.
But anyway,
2?
should we commentate on the film at hand?
True.
Yes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, one of Alan Menken's finest scorers.
Yes. If there's one thing I've yet to
Hi,
hear
Spider-Man.
Yep.
And that guy from Deep Space Nine.
Yep. And hi, Samuel, you right? Songs by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Yes, back in the day when Alan Menken was the second lister instead of the A-lister.
Also, yeah. When I found out Alan Menken did that song in Captain America: First Avenger.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised when I found out that he did it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, because that song's flipping awesome.
I'm really looking forward to the Tangled animated series because Alan Menken is actually going to be making the music for that series, so that should be awesome.
I didn't know there was going to be one. I'll look at that.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I haven't even seen Tangled.
Tangled. Oh, trust me, you should. It's awesome.
You go watch that.
Atlantis, quick! Where's the Titanic so we can fix it?
Wait, we're not watching Atlantis: The Lost Empire yet, are we?
No.
I'll throw my controversial opinion right now. I actually like that movie better than this.
What movie? Oh, Atlantis?
The first Atlantis movie. Not the second one. The second one is just a piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, I like Atlantis better than this, though. I'll go more into that later. Yes, I have quite a history with this film.
But then again, I have a history of being a huge fan? Are you a kind of huge sucker for Kirk Wise and Gary Trousdale's movies?
Bless their hearts.
Hi, Sebastian. So, what's the name of Beardy here?
That would be that's Robbie Benson playing the king.
Robbie, what do you mean from King's Quest 6?
And Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
Who do you voice in Beauty and the Beast?
The Beast.
Oh, yeah!
Okay, so now we're going to have ourselves a nice little musical number.
Well, it wouldn't be a musical.
Wibs will now be muting the video.
Or is this one of the few musicals that you can stand, Wibsy?
Disney ones.
The songs are awesome.
okay.
Howard Ashman was a brilliant lyricist. Like, the lyrics are so catchy. I love how cocky he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I got these bitches singing for me.
They're his daughters.
I can't wait to see Paige's reactions to the prequel in that regard.
Right. So yeah, my kind of madness on musicals is, have you guys wondered why that list I showed you for my next picks have no musicals on them?
Yeah,
no,
I get it.
Wait, what?
You know that list I made for potential picks of mine?
We know.
I was explaining to Joby, he was a bit confused.
I know. It's because you hate musicals.
There's Ariel and that fish whose name I can't remember.
Flounder.
You know, Triton, Ariel is a 16-year-old. You should know she's not going to listen to Diddley Squat.
Yeah.
That's a stereotype. Vanessa never gave her parents problems.
Well, I've known quite a few 16-year-olds that have been rebellious. My sister...
My brother was certainly...
Well, then again, Vanessa's just as nerdy as I am, so that's probably why.
I know, my mum calls me boring. My brother was certainly rebellious.
So somehow Flounder has trouble fitting through something that Ariel has absolutely no trouble whatsoever fitting through.
That's because Flounder's fat.
Fat people are funny. Pop. And yes, the video is in sync, thank God.
Yeah, yesterday I learned something new about Wibs. Out of sync audio drives him nuts.
I can't really blame him too much, but yeah.
No, I didn't really mind it at first, but after a while it did start to show through.
It's like I said in our first try, I've heard Hoodwink 2 has that problem a lot.
You mean the actual movie?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Oh my god, a fork!
Oh, but Paige, she doesn't know it's a fork. For all she knows, it could be a small Triton.
Reminds me of that episode from Weasel. Weasel's trying to teach how to be a gentleman. This is spelled fork. Fork. Say it.
Fork. Or what about that bit out of Alien Resurrection where they do the fork thing? Ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a fork. Say fork.
This is a shark. Say Jaws.
And this shark, you can also look forward to us kicking this shark's ass in Kingdom Hearts 1 when I do that game, Dubs.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, if there's one thing I love about Kingdom Hearts is that it gave me the ability to get revenge on any free thing that gave me a nightmare as a kid.
I had an interesting... I realized recently that my experience with Kingdom Hearts probably differed from most people, so I'll explain that when we get to it.
Actually, no. A lot of people play Kingdom Hearts 2 before 1.
Oh, no, it's about the way I played it.
Oh, okay.
Let me guess. You were expecting gameplay like Kingdom Hearts 2, but we're,
No, because I never... Okay, I'll explain it now then. Because I never really played RPGs. Like, this was my first RPG. I didn't know how they worked. So, when it came to...
level up stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. I never used half of the stuff. The only thing I really leveled up was my XP and HP, so I went through everything without getting the rest of the stuff.
Me too, yeah.
Which explains why some of the later fights were so hard.
I know. I mean, I never really knew about the whole equipping stuff in that game because I just played it like an action platformer.
Yeah, so did I.
That might
there we go then.
Yeah.
Flounder, the bot monkey.
Yeah, Flounder, you're a guppy for being scared of a shark.
Anyway,
yeah.
this seagull, as basically, it's Ariel's friend, and he tells her about what exactly do humans do with these things that she finds. And according to him, they use forks to make afros out of their hair. Sure.
Wow, I've been using a fork wrong all this time.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you know? These aren't used for smoking, are they?
This is just as insightful as when David Cage taught me in Heavy Rain that it's apparently possible to have sex with a woman while she keeps her pants on.
How do you do that?
I don't know. Ask David Cage. Apparently that's how they do it in France. I don't know.
Ew.
Oh, remind me never to visit France. We have both Dr. Attrek and David Cage there. Yes, it's a tiny saxophone.
Honestly, if I'm going to, I'm going to get I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. But honestly, she deserves getting a lecture. She's a very irresponsible daughter. I don't care if she's 16 and she's supposed to be rebellious. She doesn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Ariel's rebellious to the point of being stupid.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up one of the problems I have with this movie. Yes, speaking of problems, okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way, folks.
Hold on, Jova, the best character in the movie.
Okay.
It's amazing how just to give you an idea, this woman is like 88 years old, right? Right
yeah,
now?
88.
And even after all these years, she still sounds the same nowadays as she sounds here.
Oh, she eats live shrimp. You know she's evil.
I didn't know this, but you mentioned it before. I didn't know they re-recorded some of the stuff for the Kingdom Hearts HD games, and she came back to do those as well, didn't she?
No. All the new cutscenes in the HD remixes are purely plot crucial cutscenes with the organization and stuff. So.
Oh, okay.
They brought back all the original English voice actors who dubbed back in 2006. Yes, so they're still using the same voices and stuff. But no, in terms of Disney voices, no, nobody was brought back because there wasn't a need.
Oh, not even for the Japanese exclusive stuff that they had to translate?
No, again, the Japanese exclusive stuff is only Organization 13 stuff, so you don't need that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's funny. She may be the key to Triton's undoing. Remember that line, because Little Mermaid 2 is going to blatantly rip that line off.
Well, it's a direct-to-DVD Disney sequel. They cannot do that.
No, wait a minute, wait. Was Little Mermaid 2 a direct-to-video sequel?
Yes, it was.
I don't think...
Yes, it was.
It? Oh.
Really? Let me check.
I remember Bambi 2 getting a theatrical release in some country that I forgot which one it was. But aside from... And I think Lion King 2 also got a theatrical release somewhere. But aside from that, no, it's pretty much all direct-to-video.
Let's see, Little Mermaid 2... Oh yeah, it was a direct-to-video, but yeah.
Well, that weren't all of them.
Anywho, but as I was saying, Dwayne, just because something's direct-to-video, especially when it's under Disney, and when they have actually released some good direct-to-video sequels, I don't expect it to be bad. Disney, go further, folks. Disney has released some pretty good direct-to-video sequels, like there was Jafar's Return, Lion King 2.
I didn't like Lion King 2.
I did, but that's
I did too. But
I actually liked it better than the first movie, if I'm totally honest.
So Lion King 2 is going to be my
How ironic. You like Lion King 1 better, Pedro likes Lion King 2 better. This is going to be so much fun. But anywho, Dwibs, as I was saying, basically, Disney has released quite a few good direct-to-video sequels. I mean, they're kind of the exception to the whole direct-to-video will always be bad.
I honestly prefer the 11 sequels, honestly. I actually thought especially the third one, 11 Freeze, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Aladdin 2.
It's fine. It's not as good as 1 and 3, but it's fine. It's fine.
I remember the Little Mermaid 2 having a more consistent plot than this, even if it was silly.
So,
I actually kind of like this movie better.
Let me guess. Your least favorite direct-to-DVD. Let me guess. Our least favorite. All of our least favorite direct-to-DVD Disney sequels is Cinderella 2.
Cinderella 2.
Probably.
Honestly, I'll take that over Fox and the Hound 2. Have you ever seen?
Oh God!
Honestly, like Cinderella 2 was just the meh thing, whereas Fox and the Hound 2 is literally painful to sit through. Ugh.
Anywho, back to the show, the movie. Anywho, so yeah.
Have you seen that sequel, Twips?
Fox and the Hound 2?
Yeah.
Oh, that I remember.
Anywho, they go to join a band.
Yes.
Anywho,
is that the one where they singing in that harmony song?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember now.
Anywho, back to the movie. But yeah, here's one of my big problems with the movie. It's the romance and how it's done. And yeah, okay. Paige, you know how one of your issues with Lion King 1 was that you thought that Mufasa wasn't that good a parent to Simba? You know, he didn't scold him enough. Yeah. Well, here's my issue with this film. It's like, well, I feel that Triton does have the right idea. He may be going on a bit too hard, but he's definitely in the right. And yet the movie wants us to side with Ariel. I'll talk more about it when the song goes.
Anyway, now we got Ariel singing.
One of my favorite songs in the movie. Transcendental. The lyrics are great. Like that.
And the Jodie Benson can sing.
Oh yeah, of course. Jodie Benson's awesome. I mean, who doesn't love Jodie Benson? I mean, she's hilarious as Barbie in Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Disney, isn't that don't Disney do that a lot? They actually get the actors to actually sing.
Most of the times, yes. Not every time though. In Aladdin, the singing voices are different from the talking voices.
Which explains why Tara Strong is actually singing in The Little Mermaid too.
Like, for example, in Scott Wanger, the voice of Aladdin that we all know and love, he doesn't actually sing the songs. It's Brad Kane.
Yeah, just don't get Gilbert Godfrey to sing.
Honestly, I'm sorry.
Come on.
Honestly, Dwibs, I'm sorry. I can't stay mad at Gilbert Godfrey. Gilbert Godfrey is freaking awesome.
Guys, as long as it's not Pierce Brosnan, we're fine.
Yeah.
Gilbert Godfrey is so awesome. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't bring myself to hate him.
Oh God, Shira, you're bringing back. Ugh, no.
Dwibs, listen to the pretty music. Don't let those memories come back.
It's not working.
Although we're probably gonna have to commentate on that movie. Which movie was it again?
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna focus on the movie and forget about that.
By the way,
for a second, it looked like it was melting.
Okay.
Anywho, but yeah, one of my problems with the romance in this film is like, well, Ariel is completely disregarding her family in this. I mean, I get that they're trying to be a throwback to the old Disney princesses before this, but the problem is like, well, okay, with Snow White, she had no family to go to, so I could understand her falling towards a prince. With Cinderella, she was trying to get out of a bad life, so I can understand that too. And with Sleeping Beauty, well, the romance actually brought her back to her family. Whereas with this one...
with Cinderella as well, she didn't intend to fall in love. All she wanted to do was go to the ball, basically, and she just ended up falling in love there.
Exactly. That was more... The romance was more of a side thing, if anything. But yet here, well, okay. The first half is dedicated to her wanting to explore the human world, but then later it's going to warp into her falling in love with a prince, and that's going to lead her to want to abandon her family, who she's known for years, and who have not been overly cruel to her or anything. Heck, if anything, the prequel shows that she actually has a very deep bond with them.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, but it's like somebody online mentioned that, like, the first half of the movie is basically about an anthropologist, where the romance is just a side thing in addition to doing all the things she actually wants to do, and then they completely abolish all of that in the second half.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Actually, no, they're about to abolish it in 10 minutes, I think.
Yep.
Yeah! Oh, I love this line from Sebastian.
I love the way he says her name.
Ariel, I'm a Jamaican.
And here's the boat that's gonna single-handedly kill the movie, basically.
Why couldn't you sink?
Okay, folks, I'm gonna get this out of the way. As a kid, I loved this film. Hold on, let me finish. As a kid, I loved this film. As a teen, I hated this film because, well,
girls,
and all that stuff. But yeah, but now here, well, I'm okay. I'm fine with this film. I like it, but it is incredibly overrated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I loved it as a child, but now it's like the first half fine, second half.
Yeah, in fact, I get the feeling that's how we all feel about this movie.
Well, I like I like the final battle. The final battle was pretty.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm just saying that this film is kind of overrated.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen the film. Well, this is my second attempt in 2 days, but
fair enough. Okay, maybe I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I find this film a bit overrated. Too much for its own good.
I don't find it a bit overrated. I find it a ton overrated.
Yeah, I find it a ton overrated too. Yes, it's a masterpiece, but maybe it's not
a masterpiece.
That
It's overrated.
It's not a masterpiece. See, the thing is, the main problem with this movie is that the main reason why this movie got so much acclaim when it first came out was because at the time animation was aside from maybe Don Bluth, and even animation was kind of in that Disney animation was pretty much kind of dead, and this was the movie that threw back to that formula of the old days that people loved.
I think this was the movie that began the Renaissance.
Unlike the movies that came after this movie didn't actually age well because it doesn't execute the formula as well. It's something.
Wait. The story was worked on by 6 people.
Yeah, it was. Well, Toy Story 1 was also like that, and believe it or not, Dwebs, Ethan Coen was one of the screenwriters for Toy Story 1.
Well, I looked up, and apparently it's a different Ethan Coen.
Joss Whedon, too. He was also one of the screenwriters, believe it or not.
It's funny, I didn't really feel anything Whedon-y about it.
Anywho...
Well, it was one of, 6 writers, so...
Ta-da! A new statue that nobody likes.
But that statue is kind of...
That actually looks a lot like you, though. What don't you like about it?
Maybe he thinks it's a bit overcompensating?
Informed
he seems like a simple guy.
I guess.
Okay, 2158. Can you guys tell me when you get there?
Sure. Yeah. And free and click.
Yeah, it's just my video stuttered for a second there. I don't know why, but anyway.
Oh god, this part. Okay, look. Okay, Disney, you do the romancing well enough up to this point, but you gotta remember to at least have the two interact to some point. Oh yes. And before anyone says, oh, well, she stopped him in the original story too, well, folks, Disney sort of does a bit of a loose adaptation off of the original story, let's just say for now.
Yeah. Why not change that?
Wait.
Well, it's
Sorry,
carry on. No, you go ahead, Ribs.
This film apparently got a stage adaptation.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I never thought.
I actually kind of like the stage adaptation better. Like the Lion King musical, it expands more on the story. Go figure.
Well, a musical usually has more time. A stage musical has more time than a film.
Yeah, they give him about 2 hours or so.
This one there's 82 minutes.
It's not even 90. Yeah, but the big problem is that, like Jova said, these characters barely interact over the course of the movie. I mean, true. We have that second act where she spends 3 days with him, but the movie doesn't really capitalize on that.
The way they went about it makes it seem even less legit, because he says, she's out there, I haven't found her, and then it pans to a shot of Ariel, who's basically just sitting there, and the look on her face just sort of suggests, okay, my way out of here is to get with this prince guy.
I love how we literally went from having a completely clean sky to having a deathly storm in under 10 seconds.
Yeah,
I wonder if this was filmed in Wales.
Yeah, Pedro, that weather's typical.
I know.
Huh. So I guess they're closed off the port of the United Kingdom, I guess.
Yeah. They're probably filming off the coast of Swansea or something.
Yeah, probably.
Isn't it amazing how everyone's British except the prince, who was actually American?
Mm-hmm.
How keen. And somehow he traps his foot into a board.
Help! Help! I can't take my shoe off.
Yikes!
Now you're probably here's
fireworks.
Okay, for people who haven't seen this movie, you're probably wondering, is he dead? No, somehow he survives that, even though that makes no sense. Wait for it. And now he's suddenly here. What?
I guess. And look, not a scratch on his clothes already.
Okay, my guess is David Cage saw this movie when it first came out, and the whole explosion, and then mysteriously, boom, he's right there. Maybe I can do this. They got something here. I'll use this.
By the way,
maybe David Cage is the one telling people this is a masterpiece.
For those that don't know, I'm referencing that moment in Heavy Rain where they rip off Indiana Jones 4.
Oh, and look at that!
If you don't know who David Cage is, please stay well away.
No. I still think Illegal Prophecy is a riot.
Bliss.
Oh, and look at that now. So now his clothes are all in tatters and his boots are gone, even though his clothes were perfectly intact when she rescued him.
You have to admit, Shiroi, Inigo Prophecy is worth it.
Oh, it is. Apart from some compromising gameplay scenes.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be gameplay scenes. Yeah, gameplay.
I love this reprise, though.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna fall in love with a guy who's unconscious.
Girl, he's like in a coma.
He's intoxicated, girl. This is creepy.
Okay, +1 for Sebastian's reaction.
Yeah, that was a very well-timed piece of animation.
You know, somehow I get the feeling that someone put it in there to express their genuine reaction to the scene, and Disney just like, okay, they didn't notice or care.
Actually, wouldn't surprise me, considering how, some of the stuff in this film is, how shall I say, a little silly, even for back in the day. If there's one thing I can give credit to the films like Cinderella Free, it's the fact that they actually make fun of, the silliness of their old predecessors and actually do it in a clever way.
Yes, let's forget it. We don't want the second half of the film to stick out.
Oh no!
God damn it, Ariel!
I don't know. This bit here could be like, apart from the lyrics,
this
could be like a perfect end movie shot
from this film.
I can imagine it now. Actually, people, Sebastian's just telling Ariel's love you, but she's too busy singing. God damn it, Ariel! You don't even listen to me.
Well, she's too busy singing.
But Ariel, there's a time and a place.
Can't they hear it from just a few
let me
meters
listen
away?
now, because I love Ursula's reaction to this entire scenario.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I know, right?
Why is Ursula pointing out the stupidity of the plot?
Because she's quite possibly the smartest character here.
And she's the villain.
It wouldn't be the first time a Disney villain has been the smartest character in a Disney movie.
Reminds me of that scene in Red Sonja, where Sonja asks Arnold to... Okay, the only man who can have me is if he beats me in a battle. And then Arnold's like, so the only man who can have you is someone who is the one who's tried to kill you. That's logic. Yeah.
Wow, Arnold Schwarzenegger pointing out what's wrong. There's one thing I can also give to the prequel. Oh yeah, by the way, for those who don't know, the prequel is called Little Mermaid Free. Yes, feel free to be confused.
You figured that one out.
Yeah, yes, feel free to be confused by that choice. Yeah, by the way, also, fun fact, Little Mermaid Free was actually the last direct-to-Disney video sequel, because John Lasseter was coming on board Disney at that time, and he put a stop to it. But by that point, they put so much money, so he let Little Mermaid Free go on.
They couldn't.
But
they
that
couldn't,
was
they,
it.
They couldn't cancel Little Mermaid 3 because it was too far in development at that point. But they did cancel Dumbo 2.
Wait, they were gonna make Dumbo 2?
Yes, the same people who made Lion King 2 were working on Dumbo 2, but then...
But Dumbo 2 was like the one film that even Disney himself hated. I mean, they were really gonna make a sequel to that tripe.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you like Dumbo?
Oh, wait, never mind. We got another
like Dumbo, but fine,
boss song. I flipping love it. It's my favorite.
The song they used for the TV show theme.
Well, it is the Academy Award-winning song.
Yeah.
The song they use in Kingdom Hearts, even.
Well, of course. I mean, I love the instrumental version of Kingdom Hearts of this song. It's awesome.
You know, when you think about it, the song is almost kind of tragic. They know that Ariel is drifting away from her family, who she's going to abandon, and yet they're doing everything in their darndest to keep her down here, only to know that little by little, her soul is slipping away into the depths, up towards the sea. But hey,
so what you're telling me, Job, is that Ariel was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
Kinda. And they're doing everything in their power to save her from it. Okay, I don't get this lyric. How in the heck are fish in the bowl lucky because they're in for a worser fate?
Well, it makes sense since Star Wars is now a Disney IP.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bought a couple of Star Wars shirts actually, mainly for the purpose of going to see the film in it.
Under the sea, we off the hook.
And it comes out a day before my birthday. Yay!
Under the sea.
Oh, by the way, Paige, did you see the that little behind-the-scenes trailer?
I haven't actually. I'll have to check that out.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
They've got pay the hop, the bass, pay the bass, and they've sounded sharp. And that's it, the best.
Okay,
yeah?
Jova?
Yes?
I think you like this song.
Well, gee, I've made it such a mystery. I'm surprised you figured it out.
Yeah.
I mean, Jova's is just as good as keeping a mystery as my opinion of Vanille.
I remember it. Pedro, are you implying that Vanille is a bad character?
No, of course not, Jova. Whatever gave you that idea?
It's about as unsubtle as me. I can't. Give me an example.
You just like of musicals?
Just pick anything you dislike.
Under the sea.
To me.
Got a lot of sun. We are
I got a lot of sand in my arse.
Ah!
Okay, yeah. Audiences, if you couldn't tell by this point, our commentary is not Disney-like.
Not Disney.
Yeah, we're very unchild friendly.
What? Speak for yourself,
Twibs. He means because we swear and shit.
I don't swear.
I do.
Well,
in fact, I just did.
Oh yeah.
Aww.
When we get to
God dang it, Ariel! You can't leave in the middle of the Academy Award-winning song.
Oh, yeah, I just had a thought, guys.
What?
When we get to the live-action Disney films, where do you want to start?
The live-action Cinderella one made back in the 1990s. I like that film. What? You don't like it, Pedro?
No. Especially now that we have a much better version.
I like both ones.
I want to start with Pirates of the Caribbean myself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, I love that movie. Oh yes, I definitely have to be in on every single Pirates of the Caribbean film.
What about Lone Ranger, Jova, considering you got the same director and writers?
And actor.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm okay with it. Honestly, I found the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy to be one of series. I forget it's not a trilogy anymore.
Well, anyway,
definitely be one of the good ones.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Oh, I love this scene. Sebastian thinks that Triton knows about Ariel and being in love with a human, but Triton is none the wiser. Best interrogation ever.
Come to me, my prey.
By the way, a little correction. I have to correct myself. Never mind, Ribs. For some, my brain farted. It's not Robbie Benson. It's Kenneth Mars.
Ah, okay.
And he also did the voices in the Kingdom Hearts games.
I tried to stop her, but she escaped because I was too busy singing.
Uh-oh.
Yes, all humans are vile pieces of shit.
Even though you're kind of half a human.
Yeah. How the heck he managed to drag that all the way to her grotto is beyond me.
How did it fit through there? Like, it doesn't seem like the door is all that.
I know, right?
There's one thing I've noticed. Disney seemed to...
Our heroine, ladies and gentlemen, she's fully willing to abandon her home, her family, just for a guy that she never met.
You know, when it comes to Disney casting their actors, they mostly seem to go for people that have mostly done theatre work by that point.
Well, of course.
Makes sense.
It makes sense since they
In this case, Jodie Benson.
They need him to sing, so obviously. Like the thing with Aladdin, for example, like the reason Aladdin is one of those few ones that have alternate voices for the songs is because they couldn't find one that fit both in talking and in singing.
Oh, I love this line. Ariel says, "You don't even know him. Neither do you, girlie."
Yeah.
I love him even though I've only, seen him. Thank you.
Okay, racism aside, yeah, he's got a point. You don't even know him. For all you know, he could be the one who hooked your fish friends and ate them for
dinner. Not really
dinner.
racism, it's more like interspecies relationships.
Right.
Yeah, this part reminds me of for some reason this part reminds me of that part in 4 where the father's so angry he banishes 4 to Earth.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's also a Disney film, so...
No. 4 was still Paramount at that time.
Oh, really?
Okay,
yeah.
Triton, I'm on your side and stuff, but maybe blowing up all her stuff was not the way to win her over.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I'm a crap
Yeah, she
father.
deserves some sort of punishment, but that was a bit...
Just ground her or something.
No, she needs a bit more than that, but still, this is a bit much.
Yeah, this is the sort of stuff that pushes your kids away, completely outright destroying them. Maybe you should have explained to her why the humans are bad, at least.
They're just bad. Wreck shit. Rah,
They're
rah,
bad because
rah.
race. But see, the thing is, there was a whole undertone and metaphor of racism in Land Before Time, but the reason why it worked is because we actually got explanations of what exactly is their racism among the dinosaurs.
Well, this is an early Disney movie.
Well,
not completely early,
era.
but early. It was still within the whole racist undertones.
It was the early Renaissance era.
They're not like you and me, which means they must
Which
be
was
evil.
which was the first Renaissance film?
This one.
I'll actually give Pocahontas credit. While that movie may not have explained it thoroughly, it did actually have the historical background to go off of. So I guess I can give it that, even though it kind of got some of the historical things wrong. But that's another story.
I'll give Pocahontas this. If you watch it as a comedy, it becomes much more enjoyable.
I noticed you uploaded the Genesis game to the channel.
Yeah, I did.
The commentary.
Like for example, I love Grandma Willow's wise, quote-unquote, advice. Listen with your heart and you will understand. And then, and guess what? It actually works, because at first, Joseph cannot understand what Pocahontas says, but then, listen with your heart and you will understand. And then boom, suddenly, apparently, listen with your heart breaks language barriers. What?
Okay. Oh.
There's a little preview for my opinion on the Pocahontas commentary.
What about Pocahontas 2?
The interesting thing is that Pocahontas 2 was actually more faithful to history than the first movie. That's sad.
I
really.
know! That's amazing.
I didn't know that.
We'll talk more
Not at the
about
time,
that
anyway.
later.
And I'm American. I'm not American, and even I apparently know more about American history than the fucking morons who wrote that movie, the first one. I mean,
I wonder whether the same people who made the Magical Voyage.
I never heard of
By
that.
the way, gotta love Ursula.
We'll talk about that one later, Dwibs. Let's just say that the Magical Voyage is German filmmakers trying to do their version
let's
of
sneak
American.
into a fortress that with lots of creepy things and that has the design of a giant skeleton mouth. That's clearly a good
This'll
idea.
go well.
Yeah. I will admit, though, it makes for a great battlefield in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God, her hairdo is so similar to the villain in the prequel that I'm shocked outright that the villain did not turn out to be her in the prequel.
Or like in
But-
disguise.
Or a
It's
relative, like
it's
the
a-
sequel had used there.
It's interesting because the villain in Little Mermaid 2 was her younger sister.
Yeah.
Apparently Ursula has a sister.
Yeah. I mean,
and she never showed up until 2 for some reason. Anyway, best song in the movie.
Based
Best
on
part
what
in
her
the movie,
sister's
period.
actually like, I think she would stay away from her.
Yeah, true. Anywho, one
That's
of
part
the
of the movie.
greatest songs. You're
Well, away.
Yeah, no
Got
shit,
that
you're
right.
nasty.
It annoys me. The villain in the prequel just seems like her so much that they might as well have made her that. Heck, it would have explained why she's banished and everything.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
I love that whisper, the word pathetic.
In need.
Need to be Fernanda that wants to get the girl, but what happened? Yes,
How cute.
Yeah, I turned them into mermaids, but they will never be seen by their families again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she's gonna say now. So yeah,
Well,
all those little things in the cave, they're old customers of her, shall we say?
Well, hey, I'll give Ursula this. She definitely is honest about the full package, at least.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't stop her from trying
Okay,
to...
allow me to talk about one major difference to see which had in the original Hans Christian Andersen story. In the original Hans Christian Andersen story, the price is that, okay, if you want to become a human, you have to let me cut your tongue. That's right, the witch cuts Ariel's tongue in the original story. But obviously we couldn't have that in the Disney movie, so she magically takes away her voice, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Silent.
You might be wondering why. Well, the reason for that is because Hans Christian Andersen wanted to be a singer and dancer when he was young, but he wasn't good at it. So basically, that was kind of his personal, way of coping with it. He was basically creating a character where Little Mermaid was basically a surrogate for him.
Wasn't that like? Didn't you say before that all his stories are kind of based on something in his life?
Trust me, all his stories are tragic, just like his life. Because, like for example, Hans Christian Andersen had a total of 3 relationships, but they always ended badly, which is why, like, the poor man had a horrible life, which is why his stories are always a tragedy and shit.
He took it out on his characters.
Probably.
I wonder how it feels seeing how this
true.
story kind of represents
At least he's now immortalized. There's even a museum dedicated to him in his hometown, so that's cool.
I wonder how he would feel seeing how this movie...
Oh, he would have hated this. I mean, this
story.
movie completely takes a dump on the original story. Like, this movie has nothing to do with the original story. I mean, yeah, it has some common
Heck, even
themes.
Hercules had more to do with the original tale, and that one was turned into a comedy.
I like this part.
Oh, body language.
That's true.
Yeah, if people do talk too much, then they just do start to get a bit boring.
She gives some good advice.
Wait, we're about to get the best scene in the movie, in my opinion. Hold on. And now. I love that line. It's she who holds her tongue who gets her man. That line is brilliant.
I get it. They're making a small reference to the book, aren't they, with the tongue? Because you know what they'll see which does with her tongue eventually.
It's sad, but
true. Somebody mentioned something that would have broken this whole movie.
What?
She can't speak.
Yeah.
Well, she can clearly write.
True.
Why couldn't she write down her predicament?
Because then we wouldn't have a story right?
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, this one.
I read that before. I thought it was good.
Latin. And now a little bit of Spanish.
She's not illiterate in any way.
And now a little bit of Spanish at the end for some reason.
Oh, that was Spanish?
La voce to me, aka the voice to me. Give the voice to me.
I guess maybe they're at... Oh, I get it now. They're out in the Caribbean.
It's interesting because that final part of the song begins in Latin, then it becomes la voce, aka the voice in Spanish, and then to me, English again. I guess Howard was feeling random that day.
I get it. I think I get why. They're out in the Caribbean, which is a mixture of those.
God, I love Pat Carroll's laugh.
Oh, shoot, she can't breathe.
Yeah, okay, here's an interesting thing. They're at the bottom of the sea, and yet they managed to arrive at the surface in like 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's not how water works. She would have died. She would have died before she...
Much, I guess.
She would have died, but okay.
So what, was she drowning?
Yeah.
She became a human, and humans can't breathe underwater.
Yeah. Sorry, I know how it works. I was just making sure.
Okay.
So yeah. My memory comes back. Yeah, they're out in the Caribbean. That would make sense about why Ursula is speaking those 3 different tongues.
Wait, the Caribbean?
Yes, the Caribbean. Yes, okay, Dwibs, get it out of your system.
Wow, Disney really were planning ahead in advance for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hey, the Caribbeans are actually quite beautiful. I
14
don't
years.
blame them.
Jeez.
Yep. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe this might even be Port Royal.
I don't really like Carriel as a character. However, the time where she actually doesn't talk, those are her best moments because we get to see a lot more personality shine through just purely for the animators, rather than the.
Well, if AD Tokyo has taught us anything, you don't need words.
Yeah, of course.
Words help, but
Well, it depends. It's interesting you mentioned that, Dwebs, because there was one specific scene. Actually, 3 scenes. There were 3 specific scenes in this movie that were actually written by Howard Ashman. And I don't mean song ones. I mean actual writing, the script and shit. And I'm gonna bring it up when it comes on because it's pretty interesting behind the scenes stuff.
Nice.
I mean,
she doesn't have any underpants.
I always watch behind the scenes stuff in my Disney DVDs and Blu-rays, so I know this stuff.
I just realized something. She doesn't have any underpants on, does she?
One Disney movie that
nudity. Ding.
One Disney movie that I really wanted to do is Pinocchio because that movie is quite possibly the greatest example of a 40s movie that somehow managed to age well. Like seriously, the story still works like to this day. Seriously.
Oh, it does.
What Disney film could I suggest?
It aged better than this. Honestly.
You could suggest Muppets Treasure Island.
Oh yeah, I love Muppet Treasure Island. Muppet Treasure Island is awesome.
Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah.
Or even better, let's just watch the 2011 Muppet movie because that's the best Muppets movie if you ask me.
You see, children, puppy dog eyes get you absolutely.
Okay, here it is. Here's the first one. Hold on. Okay, the whole reaction where Sebastian, that's it. The whole all right, all happy. That was Howard Ashman. The writers were having trouble figuring out how to deal with Sebastian in his reaction to this part, and it was Howard Ashman who suggested he would go, it'll be miserable for the rest of your life. That was actually Howard Ashman, and nice because it's one of the best written scenes in the movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's sad when a guy who's a songwriter is a better screenwriter than the actual screenwriters. Go ahead.
Pedro. by extent, you said you wanted to do the 2011 Muppets movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, by extension, we have to do Most Wanted.
I like that movie, actually. It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's such a huge, it's a massive downgrade from the previous one. Like there's no heart to the story. It's mostly just jokes, which would be fine. The jokes were good, but they were nowhere near as good as in the other movie.
Well, better than anyone saw Most Wanted. So
and
it didn't bomb.
It didn't bomb, but it didn't make enough money to warrant a sequel.
What do you mean barely anyone saw it?
It didn't make much money.
Meh. Just because something didn't make that much money, I don't take that as grounds to say that barely anyone saw it. Now, say something did bomb, then I'll say that barely anyone saw it.
The problem is that movie's mediocreness might just be the reason.
Is a big turnoff from it.
Why we probably won't have more Muppet movies, at least in the near future, because there's no other Muppet movie announced. Probably because most of them didn't make much money, and that's
but again, Disney have like. I think once every year, Disney has a film that doesn't do well at the box office.
True.
But Muppets Most Wanted didn't do that bad, though.
When did Most Wanted come out? Last year?
Last year.
But it didn't even do bad at the box.
2011 was John Cart.
Dwibs.
2012 was John Cart.
It didn't even do bad at the box office, though. So it does.
Most Wanted, and this year's Tomorrowland.
Dwibs. Muppets Most Wanted didn't even bomb. Jeez.
Yeah.
You gotta get a movie that actually bombs to, have it count.
John Carter, then?
No. I'm talking about for 2014. I know there was definitely a Disney movie that did actually bomb.
Didn't Lone Ranger come out that year?
No, Lone Ranger was 2013.
That was 2013.
Okay.
Maybe Disney broke... maybe Disney actually broke the trend for 2014.
What, with Maleficent?
Oh, yeah, Maleficent. There you go.
That movie didn't bomb, though, unfortunately.
No, it made money, it just sucked.
Oh, it sucked, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be reunited with your friends soon.
Yeah.
And they won't be your friends from under the sea. She could be right under your nose, Eric.
Fish and chips, anyone?
Yeah.
Can I order the Sebastian lobster, please?
I love the Ariel special.
With a side of flounder.
The flounder pie sounds pretty good.
Ooh, the King Tripe Delight is delicious. It's even got a cool looking giant fork to eat it with.
It's a bit like a steak knife. But bigger.
Yeah, but the problem is every time I try and lift it up, it's too heavy, and I keep hitting people with it. So look, I try and lift it up. Sorry, Pedro.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. What?
I accidentally hit you with the fork.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a legit laugh.
Yes, if I don't have a woman to put my dick in, what's the point in living? And ladies and gentlemen, Rene Auberjonois. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I kind of suck at pronouncing it.
It's the transforming guy from Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
And the guy from Benson.
Running into... How many times have we run into Star Trek actors in films?
To be fair, the Star Trek actors are very versatile. It doesn't surprise me that we run into them.
Trust me, Dwebs. Just check out Disney's Gargoyles. That show is pretty much a Star Trek reunion.
Yeah, it had Jonathan Frakes and all that.
I mean, we're in the cinema right now. Like when this was out, people were laughing at this. But to this character, this is watching torture.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is mentally and soul-crushingly scarring, and everyone's laughing.
Yeah, I know.
Cutting up his friends is funny.
Oh dear.
It's dark humor, shall we say?
Yeah.
Dark. Yeah, I like dark humor.
Oh, I like it too.
Which is why I like Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is quite possibly the pinnacle of black humor. Black comedy, I mean. Yes, you're dead, so you won't feel a thing.
Yeah, this kind of is this. Wow, Disney were planning way ahead. This is Brad Bird's inspiration for Ratatouille.
And now a rendition of the Can.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa, Jesus! What time are you guys at?
46, 35, 30.
Wait, where did you say you are?
I'm at 54:24.
You're like 3 seconds behind us.
Hang on, what time are you guys at?
54, 34, 45, 46.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, that's weird. My video's going, but for some reason my number counter is not going up for some reason.
I'm at 54:58. I've stopped here.
You're seeing a chef wrecking, a lady shouting at him right over.
Hold on, guys. Where are you, Dips?
54:58.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just remember, these two are sort of animation recycles.
Click.
Oh. I just realized something. The chef and the maid are animation recycles of the clock guy from Beauty and the Beast and Mrs. Potts as well.
Yeah, they were. Disney does a lot of that stuff. Like in Hunchback of Notre Dame, during the Out There song, you can actually see Beauty walking around reading that book that she took from the bookstore. So basically, Hunchback and Beauty and the Beast take place around the same time, actually. In the same universe and the same town, and the plots apparently intertwine.
And made by the
Apparently
same
in
company.
Frozen, in the coronation.
Well, not only that, they're also made by the same writers and directors. So that was kind of a... But go ahead, Stuart.
Oh, I was going to say, I saw recently in Frozen, you can see...
Rapunzel.
And also Tiana and what's-his-face.
Who?
Tiana and Prince Naveen?
No. Yeah, they're in the castle.
Who's Tiana?
First of all, it's Prince Naveen.
The princess.
And second, Princess Tiana is the princess from Princess and the Frog.
A 2D character in a 3D film.
Here's another scene written...
They were just in the crowd is all.
Hold on, this is another scene written by Howard Ashman. This is one of the best scenes.
Let me guess, he does the scene with Sebastian. He basically writes Sebastian scenes.
There's one other, but I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Howard Ashman.
You're right, he is quite possibly the best writer in this film. Aww.
Oh yeah, I just had a thought what my next animated Disney pick could be.
What?
Big Hero 6.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I definitely want to be in on that movie too.
It's a good movie.
You weren't tucked into bed a few seconds ago, lady.
It's a good movie, but that third act...
What about that?
You know, it feels rushed. Like suddenly there's a daughter and shit trapped, and turns out she's still alive. She's trapped in the
Okay, that was a bit weird.
Like it seems like the focus went away from Hero, you know. But that's a topic for another day.
Who did Wreck-It Ralph?
That would be Rick. I forgot his middle name. Rick Moore. That's it. The guy, former Simpsons and Futurama director.
I watched that recently. I liked it.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed by it.
I love that film. But we can talk about that later. For now, we got a comedic carriage ride.
And I watched Meet the Robinsons after that, and I did not like that.
Blech.
So that's two Disney films that you three seem to like that I'm not really so keen on.
Hi, Flounder.
Why didn't you like Meet the Robinsons? I actually thought that movie was pretty good, but fine.
Well, we can talk about that later. For now, we have this film to talk about.
Some things didn't sit well with me, I'll just say that.
Better than this film.
Well, that's not really an accomplishment, Pedro. I mean, like we said, Little Mermaid's good, but the story is a bit lacking. Okay, not a bit lacking, rather lacking.
Wait, what kind of dance move was that? He just picks her up and then turns around and then puts her back down. What?
Remember, Pedro? Remember, Pedro?
He's imitating Dirty Dancing. I don't know.
Also, what the hell were they doing with baguettes? Like, that's from France, not Caribbean.
Whoa! They could have died there. Laugh!
So Eric is not at all concerned about the fact that this woman is clearly insane and almost killed him.
Because boys like adventure and danger and shit.
I nearly died. That was weird.
But fun.
Dang, only one day left.
One day left
Jeez.
to what?
Oh yeah, left before she can get him to kiss her.
Again, Ariel, you could either write, and there's also much easier, and there's also a very easy way women can get into to a man's heart. But I'm not gonna.
We've seen School Days. We know the answer.
Yeah.
What? Stab his heart?
Well, according to Emmy, it's burning people alive.
That too.
No.
When you say get into a man's heart, do you mean use the knife to do that?
No, use I will have to make a really
Use
dirty
your
joke
body.
to
Body
explain.
language. Like Ursula said, body language, especially the body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goody, this song. I love how it has to be the woman actually wooing the man this time.
Yeah, that makes that's a nice change of pace.
That's something different that not a lot of movies do, especially at that time.
Hey, what if there's a film that comes out where they both try and woo each other?
That would actually be interesting, and neither is the wiser.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't kiss you yet. The script says I can't.
The only downfall may be that Prince Eric may not be able to understand.
I love
what all
how
these
Eric, for some reason, is
to.
bored out of his mind. Look at him. Like, for some reason, he looks absolutely bored. Like, what happened, dude?
He's remembering he watched Getaway recently, and he's still trying to recover from that.
My God, yeah. By the way, I wonder if he can actually understand what all the animals are singing. I mean, I wonder what this all sounds like to him.
It just sounds like,
Actually, there you go. He actually just understood what Sebastian said. So apparently, animals can talk in this world.
let me guess.
Oh my god! So he has the full moon magic tear thing.
That's what I was gonna say. Dover can read my mind.
Yeah. In addition to reading minds and thus being able to predict the future. An ability which I passed down to Shiroi if our Legend of Titanic commentary is anything to go by.
That movie was a mess.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't even that fun of a mess.
But Tentacalino was. So yeah, as far as there is a full choir singing for him to kiss the girl, and he's not taking the hint yet.
Drown him.
Yeah, god damn it, man. Do you need any more hints? That's an evil-looking Ariel.
I mean, seriously, Dwibs, you need an entire song to tell you to kiss the girl?
No, I might need some nudging from the girl, but...
Oh, yes! Yeah! Oh! And somehow that stops him from kissing her.
Well, then again, I wouldn't know. I don't. Again, I'm probably the only one out of the group present here today that's single. So
good point. Good point.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They every time they just tried to kiss and the boat tipped over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, magic conch.
And now, in fact, we got a new voice actress for Ursula. Let me check who it is. Hold on.
And now he's dressed in Gaston's old outfit.
Ooh, no one talks like Gaston.
You know, he does have a point, Eric. You know, a real girl is better than a make-believe girl.
Gaston is one of the most amazing villains in Disney history.
No one does a whatever here like Gaston.
Exactly.
Was Gaston again Pocahontas?
Hey, no, I can also give Gaston credit for being one of the first few villains to actually, subvert the trope that anything that's ugly is evil. Granted, to be fair, I guess that was the whole idea of a story to begin with. But hey,
what did you ask, Twibs?
Was Gaston Pocahontas?
No, that was Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay. How can she echo out? How can she echo when there's no?
Because it
magic.
Because it sounds cooler that way.
Singing.
Because it sounds cooler that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Doesn't say. Whatever.
Maybe
that bird looks like the one from Rescuers Down Under.
Maybe it's... Oh, never mind. Let's see.
Lady, it's girly. It's very easy, but then again, it's very easy to get him to kiss you. He doesn't have it, but I'll get reprimanded if I say wow. But so I'm just gonna show.
Okay. Basically, Pedro, the one who plays Vanessa, Ursula's human alter ego, is also Jodie Benson.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, love, you were a bit too slow.
Well, this is quite a lot of years ago at that.
Vanessa, that name sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before?
That's the name of my wife.
Oh yeah. Well, apparently Ursula's human alter ego is officially named as Vanessa. Go figure.
Ooh.
Oh, what a beautiful day for a wedding.
The sun is shining, the boats are swimming.
Ariel is crying. Wait, what?
Not a sign of realistic wedding stress in sight.
Yeah, I have kind of lost track of what's going on.
Okay,
basically Vanessa here is seducing Eric, and yeah, they're gonna go get married.
Basically, she's preventing her from kissing Eric's, and because I remember the deal, Dwebs. If she fails, she belongs to her. That way, she can use her to blackmail King Triton and become queen of the season shit.
And now, evil Ariel.
Yeah, it is her. Yeah.
Yeah. Was Jodie Benson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell it is.
I crush my stuff because I'm evil.
Well, it's a good thing that spell mirrors reflect real forms of stuff. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a problem here.
Yeah. I'll give Ursula this. She's not vain. Otherwise, she probably would have used that spell 24/7.
This is another flip on the formula. Usually, it's the guy trying to save the girl from the bad marriage, but it's the other way around here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another thing is that Ursula isn't as vain as the usual female Disney villains. Huh, kudos. If she were vain, she probably would have used that appearance spell more often, thingy.
But I can't swim, I'm not a mermaid anymore. Oh, fuck it.
Well, there you go.
Flotation devices, wine, alcoholic beverages, use them to float.
Ariel, drink the wine.
It appears they leaked into the sea.
Yes. In other news, the entire population of Atlantis is drunk.
Now drunk. I wonder what gets fish drunk. Like, in this universe. Like, what gets fish
wine.
I guess wine, I don't know.
I think there was a cartoon, actually, episode where they did get drunk off of wine.
It's been like the whole thing I talked before about horses getting drunk on salt.
And cats getting drunk on catnip.
Alright, it's time for some more behind-the-scenes trivia in a few seconds.
And just like in Terminator, if a dog knows what's up.
Take a look at that priest. Okay, basically, in the original 1989 cut of this movie, the priest had shall we say, a lump. That a lot of people. Wait, is that a boner? Is the priest getting a boner? Okay, allow me to debunk that rumor. Because if you take a look at his walking cycle in his other scenes, you'll notice that it's actually his knee. He has bumped knees. So it's not. Okay, so yeah, even though it does look like he had a boner, it wasn't intentional. It was just a badly animated character.
Yeah.
So just stop. Even though it's kind of funny, let's stop using this as an excuse that Disney is trying to brainwash people into having sex.
This isn't my. If you don't know about this.
And yes, believe it or not,
the way to use a wedding cake.
The Visual Christian likes to use that as an example of how Disney is satanic.
Most people do. Well, not most people, but you know what I mean. But
yeah.
This isn't the first time that this kind of thing has been a quote-unquote controversy in Disney movies, and it certainly won't be the last.
So Disney
dirty minds.
Disney removed it, obviously. That's why in newer cuts she doesn't have the boner.
Yay! Ariel got her voice back! Thanks to the animals running rampage on the wedding.
Yes, you can talk. Well done. You win.
You win the prince.
You win the grand prize.
Oh shoot! Wow, timing's bitch, ain't it?
Oops. Yeah, you shouldn't have wasted time talking.
I wonder. Okay, I gotta wonder what these people in the wedding are thinking. Wow, today I saw a beautiful young woman turn into a fat octopus. Thank God it's only Friday.
Yeah, Pedro, that's one thing I love. The characters are too busy talking. They get so distracted that something goes wrong. It's like that part in Interstellar where Matt Damon was too busy doing a Christopher Nolan-ish speech that he got sucked out of an airlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, to be fair, Dwiz, if we're gonna a lot of screenwriters do that shit. So if we're gonna we might as well talk about all movies.
No.
Yeah, Pedro just.
I'm sorry, but you cannot destroy the contract. I put it through laminated it.
Underwater lamination is the strongest of all.
Of course.
So yeah, there we go. This is why she wanted Ariel for herself.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty good plan.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Be sure you make it back in time for the awesome climax.
Well, Ariel, this is kind of your fault, so you reap what you sow, honey.
Yep. You should have thought this through. Just saying.
We wouldn't have a movie if characters had common sense.
Let's trust a woman who's clearly evil.
Who's clearly the devil, who has told you before that she will turn people into these things if they don't fulfill their end of the bargain.
And that's pretty much the main problem. Ariel is a fucking dumbass.
Oh, wait till we get to Little Mermaid 2!
So... Wait. How can that... Sorry, I was gone for a bit. How can he survive underwater?
I was about to point that out too.
He was holding his breath for a bit, I guess.
Apparently water pressure doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah. What films do that?
Well, I think that they're a lot closer to the shore because, they were just going off for a bit. So, I guess that the water pressure isn't that big.
It's even worse in Beyond Two Souls, because in Beyond Two Souls, not only do they survive the water pressure, but it's in the Arctic waters. And they have,
Nope. I'd say we could talk about that later, but that was one of our first commentaries ever, so we can't really go back to that.
What film are we talking about?
Beyond Two Souls.
Oh. Our first film.
Oh my god, it's
David Cage. It's a movie game
Oh my god, it's a giant purple eater.
And now Pat Carroll. Here we go. Pat Carroll's giant voice.
Ho ho. Game over. Return. What's the character's name? Game over. Return of Ursula. Ho 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 ho.
Game over. Return of So what's that based off of?
Zelda 2, the game over screen.
Oh.
My main problem with this final battle is that the way Ursula gets killed is extremely anticlimactic. Really? That's all it takes to kill her? I mean, I don't know. I kind of felt like there should have been a little more difficulty.
Wait. Is the battle over now?
No, not yet.
No, it's not.
You'll see this.
She's going to take a vortex so she can try and kill Ariel.
Let's just say the way she dies is kind of... I don't know. I kind of figured she would need I kind of figured it should have been a bit harder to kill her.
Yeah. We'll see how. I actually kind of like the way they do it because
that's why I like it in that's why I like Kingdom Hearts, because in Kingdom Hearts we actually get to beat the crap out of her until she falls dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
In both Kingdom Hearts games, actually.
So is this kind of like kind of like how Path for Neo ended differently than Matrix Revolutions?
Kinda. We'll see. You'll see. Basically, all you need to know in terms of comparison is that Kingdom Hearts it's a typical video game boss where you beat the crap out of her until the life bar goes out. In here, it's this, as you're about to see.
You'll see it any second. So.
And there you go. He stabs her in the stomach with the boat, and that's it. I don't know. I kind of felt that was anticlimactic.
If it was in the heart, it would make more sense, but it was like in the stomach.
I guess her heart was there because her body stuff moved all the way up because she grew.
Huh. Well, that was it. Well, so yeah, the big giant octopus with magnificent powers wasn't that big a deal, I guess.
Oh, that was easy.
And now everyone's back to normal.
It's interesting because I'm guessing even Nomura thought this was a little twist because he made the giant Ursula one of the hardest bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1. So.
Oh, I like that boss fight. I also like how you do. I just like how we do it for Kingdom Hearts 2. Throwing the Triton right through her. No.
Oh wait. Howard Ashman scene.
Oh, this. He does have a point, you know.
You always say that, but you've been saying because he's been saying the opposite the entire movie to him. So
if you can't beat him, join him.
Wow, even when a songwriter points out.
Yeah, exactly. You see, in the originally Ron Clements and John Musker intended for this entire scene where the father decides to let her go. Was entirely silent, but when they got to the point where they were like, I don't know, there's something missing. But we don't want to add words because show right and tell. But then Al was the one who was like, you shouldn't be afraid to add words. Here's what I would have done, and then so he basically rewrote the scene the way we just saw it, and that's how they put it.
So yeah, folks. Okay, time to get the elephant in the room out of the way. Ariel, the Little Mermaid, does not die in this movie.
Yeah, in the original story, the Little Mermaid, the prince marries the sea witch, and Little Mermaid dies and turns into sea foam. For kids. But in here, we get an happy ending.
Well, except for Sebastian.
Actually, Sebastian gets an happy ending too, as you're about to see.
Oh yes! Ow. Ow.
And don't worry, he'll get those teeth back.
I felt that.
What, in the animated series?
No, in the sequel.
Oh. So there's a sequel and a prequel to this.
The reason the filmmakers... Ron Clements and John Musker's reasoning for the ending was that even though she doesn't die in this one, she's still paying a price because she's, she's going away from her family and shit.
Okay. Hey, I can dig that.
Oh, I love this reprise. And I will be
part of your...
Bye, Daddy. I'll see you in the sequel and the TV show.
Actually, the TV show takes place before this movie.
Oh.
Don't worry, though. She'll be back.
Ariel is still a mermaid in that show, so clearly it's before this movie. I mean, continuity and shit.
Unless it were Kingdom Hearts 2, where, she actually does have the ability to swap between... Oh yeah, I should probably point out. I liked how they did it better in Kingdom Hearts 2, like where they make it...
Yeah.
that she's not giving up being with her family. In fact, I
in
think
the original movie,
in
Kingdom Hearts 2, it's actually Eric who decides to, start seeing her underwater and shit.
How he's going to do that?
So yeah, that was the Little Mermaid.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You mind if I start?
Sure.
There's no post-credit scene here. Oh, hi, Rob Minkoff.
Oh yeah, Rob Minkoff, who went on to direct Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which I still find to be a sadly underrated film, but we'll talk about that later.
There's no post-credit scene here, is there?
No, there isn't.
Go off the link.
I don't think so.
No, there isn't.
By the way, one more thing though. Eric. One thing that weirded me about Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, Eric decides to see her occasionally, like learning to swim. However, for some reason in the credits scene, they still show the scene where she and him are on the wedding ship getting married.
I'm guessing what Nomura was going for is that the Sea King is surprised by how dedicated to his daughter Eric is, that he decided to just approve the relationship. I'm guessing that's what, and then he turned her into a human. I'm guessing that's what happened, which I find it better, honestly.
So I'm guessing that in Kingdom Hearts 2, she has the ability to swap between being mermaid and human at will. Okay, that works.
Anyway,
actually,
final thoughts. It's an okay movie, mostly because of the music and the animation. The music and the animation are absolutely fantastic. And we have Ursula, which is one of my favorite Disney villains. But aside from that, yeah, this movie did not age well at all, especially if you put it up with the movies that came after it. It's, the story is so lacking. I mean, our main character is either a whiny brat or just a fucking moron. I mean, and she's bland. And Eric is also bland. So, yeah, and like Jova pointed out, her whole desire to see the human world is pretty much thrown out the window for the halfway point. So even that potential good thing is left out. So it's an okay movie. I mean, it's not bad. It's serviceable. But honestly, it feels to me that this should not have been. It feels to me that they should have went a little closer to the original story. But that's me. Anyway, go ahead, Jova.
So yeah, if I can give this film one credit, it did give birth to the Little Mermaid animated TV series, which in my opinion is
additional dialogue. Our Dashman, it was right there.
Yeah. This film is well, like Pedro said, it's okay, but I don't know. This film feels like it's just a bit above okay with me. It's like it's got fantastic music, fantastic direction overall. Actually go to say that, yeah, the directing of the actors and everything is actually pretty keen, too. The only real problem I have with this is the writing and story. It's like, well, everything else feels fantastic.
There was... Howard Ashman should have written the entire movie, because he was the best writer working in this film.
Yeah. And, hey, John Lasseter, executive producer. Anywho, but yeah, as I was saying, Mako, like Pedro said, Mako, like I said, I even sort of get what they're going for, how she has to pay a price. My problem is, it doesn't feel like she's paying a price so much as she's just, getting what she always wanted, because, she pretty much had always joked about, hey, I want to leave my family for this prince who I barely even know, which, did not really sit with me as well. But hey, what you gonna do? But this film is largely just above okay with me. I love everything but the story, and unfortunately the story kind of drags it down for me. But there are still a lot of good written scenes, so I can't really say that this movie is horrible. It's a good one. It's serviceable. It's harmless. Yeah. It's harmless.
If it was on TV and there wasn't really much else on, I wouldn't turn it off or anything.
All right,
and I will give it some credit for being kind of a product of its time, not so much as, say, older Disney.
Yeah, that's the main problem. This was a movie that stayed a little too close, probably, to the formula of the old movies, and it suffered because of it. But go ahead, Oops.
Now, there's one more thing. If there's one thing I would have done better, it's keep it with the twist that, she's more into exploring human stuff. And like, okay, you're not going to kill her, that's fine, but maybe it focused more on her exploration of human society, and then the prince thing be more of a side thing, like say, oh, hey, that's the only way you'll stay human. It's like, well, I mean, like, it's an end that justifies the means. She doesn't really love him yet, but by getting to know him, she falls in love with him. That would have sat better with me. They got more Cinderella route, like, he's my only way out of this.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the film's alright, but I don't know. It's a little
Overrated.
well that, and it honestly didn't really leave that big of an impression on me.
That's a good reason for
Yeah, I can't really blame you. I mean, honestly, you would have had to see it like more so back in, when it first came out to get the full impact that people felt.
Yeah,
no
when I
offense
was
to like film, but it's kind of running the mill nowadays.
because when I was younger, the Disney film I mostly watched was Lion King and
I love
stuff.
that film. But yeah.
And if you want to hear our thoughts on the Lion King film, listen to our commentary on that.
Yes.
So anyway, is everyone done?
Sure.
No, wait, sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. As I said in the beginning, really like the first half. I dislike the second half. I agree with what you all said about the music and the animation being amazing. Like, for me, there's only one problem with this movie, and that's the inconsistent plot. I feel like if the plot was consistent with what they had from the start about her being basically an anthropologist and stuff, with the love being a side thing, like a +1 kind of thing, it would have been fine. But instead they threw it all out the window because Disney princesses, like, their main goal is to get married and shit.
If there's one thing I can take out of Disney making all these live-action movies, it's like, well, one thing I would support is actually a live-action rendition of this for the sake of a remake that's, more up-to-date, more up to speed.
I just hope they don't go too far with the whole feminism thing, because I'm getting a bit tired of feminist revision versions of movies.
Especially if
you mean like with Maleficent?
Yeah. Like Maleficent, that's a case of it done badly.
Well, yeah, feminism pisses me off to no
good.
end these days, so...
Yeah. Frozen is a case of it's done good, but Maleficent, bad. But that's one thing I would like out of a live-action one, for the sake of a remake, because, honestly, this film is kind of like the Final Fantasy VII of Disney classics. It could use the remake.
What did the Cinderella... Did this year's Cinderella film have any that kind of feminist stuff?
Oh, no, the original... No, the 2015 Cinderella movie is completely and truly old school. Like, it follows the classic story pretty much exactly as it is, but it does just enough so that it's neither feminist nor sexist. It's pretty much a middle ground. Where they do just enough to make Cinderella a legitimately good character. She's not great per se, but she works definitely much better than the original animated film. And the prince is also pretty good. They actually meet and interact before the ball, believe it or not.
And they do it in a way that doesn't feel, they do it in a way that doesn't feel too like, hey, we know it sucks, so we're doing it better. It's just, actual legit, we want to tell a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the guy who wrote Golden Compass of all people.
Also, the fairy in the 2015. Also, the new fairy godmother is freaking hilarious.
Helena Bonham Carter actually works out pretty well.
So, are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, tune in for our next Disney film, animated or live action.
See you, everybody.
See ya.